A quick review this morning of the SW Motech Cobra handguards for the Honda CB500X. Mine is the 2019 model, but the guards are compatible with all model years as far as I know. As with all my accessory reviews, I've paid for these guards myself. I've not been sent them or asked to promote them in any way by the manufacturer, which is perhaps just as well because, as you'll see, it's a case of could do better here. I ordered these along with the company's crash bars. I'll put a link to the crash bar review at the end of this video. The guards cost about €140, £125 plus shipping. The little off-roading I do tends to be of the green laning type, with 99% of my riding being on public roads, so it was more for the look than anything. Although, as you see, I am glad I did fit them because they've twice prevented damage to my bike. I live in Portugal, so don't really need the weather protection. In fact, I usually remove the cache in the centre of the plastic for extra ventilation to my hands. The red conspicuity tape that you see in these pictures I just put on to brighten things up a bit, so you can ignore that. The overall quality of these guards is good, with the metal brackets in particular being very sturdy. I would have perhaps preferred black powder coating on the metal though, just to blend in better with the black plastic guard and the rest of the bike. Now, I'm a big fan of German over-engineering, but I have to say I was slightly disappointed by the plastic that SW Motech have chosen to use on these handguards. It's thick enough, but it does look a bit shiny and cheap compared to their other products. Maybe they've been deliberately designed that way to be cheap and simple to replace. A replacement pair of plastic guards is about £35 or €40. But I've dropped the bike twice since fitting them, and the plastic, as you can see, has cracked along one of the seams. I was a bit surprised when I saw this, to be honest, as both drops were relatively controlled and on dirt rather than concrete, and I was half holding onto the bike as it went over, so the guards were only really having to support the bike's weight. Of course, the main thing was that they did their job and protected the brake lever and no doubt other parts of the bike too, but I think that's probably more down to the strong metal bracket than the relatively cheap looking plastic. Installation is fairly straightforward. It took me about half an hour, basically assembling the guards and then mounting them onto the handlebars as per the instructions. Before final positioning, however, you do have to be very careful to twist the brackets round on the bars as high as you can to avoid them making contact with the tank when the bars are on full lock. Adjusting them to as high as they'll go still only gives you about 8mm of clearance, at least on my 2019, which has a slightly different steering geometry to earlier models, so be warned. A worthwhile investment overall then. They did their job and saved me on a couple of occasions. It's just a pity that the plastic isn't slightly better quality, or at least finished off to a higher standard. The metal brackets used are extremely tough, but do be careful when mounting them to avoid any fouling of the tank when on full lock. As always, thanks for watching.